On today's Buckeye Roast, the new AP poll is out, and the national picture keeps shifting after another chaotic weekend. We'll start with the full Week 9 recap, and then dive into what is the Ron curse. Elsewhere, Brian Kelly is out, and the coaching carousel is heating up, and the rumors are already flying about who's next. And the big question, with Nick Saban gone, and college football entering the transaction era, could Ohio State actually build a dynasty in this new landscape? I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q right here on Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe.
You feel me? That's a get back. That's that get back. You feel me?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
Good, man. Survived another good weekend. Bye week, of course, came through. So I hope, Ron, you got a nice break, a little relaxation. I'm sure you needed it as you put a lot of work behind the scenes. But my weekend was good. Maybe a little too much fun, but I'm heading to the cold weather for a little bit. So I'll suffer like all the rest of you do most of the year.
You call it suffering it. I call it a good time, man. You're going to the mountains. You have an opportunity to do some skiing. That's always a good time. Cue a little peek behind the curtain, as you noticed on the new intro. Or not new, the old one is back because I just told Chris, I said, man, use the old video. I miss having Jermaine Matthews on the intro. So we brought back the old national championship edition of the intro and have Jermaine Matthews on there. So that's always good to have. Q, before we get started, no trivia, kind of some trivia. I don't know. We'll see what you would like to classify it as. Q, can you guess? You're the movie guy. For those who don't know, Q has another channel where he does movie reviews. So I figured I would tap into your bag. It is spooky season. It is both of our favorite times of the year. So I wanted to see Variety put out the top 21 Halloween movies ever. I wanted to see how many you could guess in the top 10 with 5 picks.
Top 10. Let's see. Halloween 1978.
That is one.
Okay.
That is number one overall.
That's number one overall. Okay, definitely that one's up there. The Exorcist got to be up there. The old one. I don't know what year.
Not even on the top 21.
Oh, really? The Exorcism? The Exorcism? Jeez. Okay. It's great scene. Actually, funny enough, quick story. My cousin worked at the scene where the priest gets knocked off the stairs. My cousin worked there, so good luck to him because I wouldn't have. Jason's got to be up there. I'll go with the original 1980? 1980 Friday the 13th. On the list. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1980, 1981. The original.
Not on the list.
Dang, what are these top 10? What is the top 10 list? They don't have none of the. Okay, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1978 has to be up there.
Not on
in the top
list.
10. Jesus,
not in the top 10.
Okay,
bro, you're gonna be shocked. I don't even know if 10 is a Halloween movie. I'm kind of confused why it's on here. It's one of those weirdo lists. This is your last pick, and you've only hit on.
Oh my god. Hocus Pocus,
number 2. Look at you.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. Getting 1 and 2 out of your 5 picks, pretty impressive. Would you like the full top 10? I think 10 might be the most ridiculous one on this entire list.
Okay, so we got 1 and 2. Yeah, I'm like, this has to be some Disney. Oh, God, Nightmare Before Christmas
is number 4. So
okay,
I mean,
it's got to be on there.
Okay, number 10 is The Karate Kid, 1984.
I guess it probably took place during yeah, they had costumes, so it's not a Halloween movie, but no, they had costumes.
Number 9, House of Corpse, House of 1,000 Corpse. I'm sorry.
Okay, I know. I don't think I've seen that, but I know what it is.
8, Donnie Darko, 2001.
I would never guess that, but I know what it is.
E.T. at number 7.
I would not have guessed that. I didn't know how the E.T. was a Halloween movie.
Neither did I. I guess aliens are scary. I don't know. Pumpkinhead at number 6, 1988.
Not old enough.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982.
Ah, great story. Do you actually know Halloween 3, Michael Myers is not in it?
That's the one. Spoiler alert. I mean, I think for a movie in 1982, we don't need a spoiler alert. But if you haven't seen it, I believe it's his mother.
It's an anthology. So basically it takes place, I'm forgetting the movie stuff, but it takes place in this town, and like they travel to the town. And you see Michael Myers in like a scene on TV, but it's really about this town and this evil corporate. Actually, it's a really fun movie if you've never seen it, but Michael Myers is not really in it.
Okay. Number 4, Nightmare Before Christmas, as you accurately guessed. 3, Trick or Treat, 2007.
I think I've never seen it, but I think I've heard, is it like a small film?
I'm just reading the list.
You don't know. I think I actually know what it is. If it's the movie I'm thinking of, I've heard like it's a really good movie. If it's a small, like almost independent film, I've heard about it. I've never seen it, but I've heard like it's really good if it's the one I'm thinking of.
And then number 2 is Hocus Pocus, as you accurately guessed. And then number 1, Halloween. Before we move on, I know we spent a lot on Halloween movies, but I mean, it is the week before Halloween. Trick or Treat is on Friday. Q, what is your favorite horror movie or Halloween movie?
Favorite horror movie of all time is Scream, 1996. Oh my God. Definitely has to be. I mean, that was kind of my intro into horror, to be honest. Like the way they played on the horror movie rules, it really hadn't been done. I mean, obviously you had Jason and all the series before that did those rules, but the fact that they played on it, it made it fun. You couldn't get killed until you hooked up with somebody. Obviously, like all these rules, and the killers, once they learned the rules, started playing by it. Like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited to give my answer, and then Q stole mine. I guess it's a millennial thing, but like, I mean, I could even remember like what a big deal it was to like, you know what I mean, the Scream costume and everybody having those, and it was just a great movie. You know, I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan. What's the actor's name who plays Shaggy in Scooby-Doo?
I can't listen. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and I always forget. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like Matthew something.
Yeah,
Matthew Leonard or something like that.
Yeah, but he's in there. He cracks me up. Billy, I'm feeling woozy when he gets stabbed. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and definitely my favorite Halloween movie. But Q, this is a football show, but honestly, this was the biggest Snooze-Fest of a college football weekend ever. Like, and Ohio State didn't play, which makes it that much sleepier. I was at a college football game that we will talk about later. Definitely not worth talking about in the A block. Halloween movies are way more intriguing, but Q, we have a football show to do, so let's get into it.
Yeah, play the song, man. Let's do it.
Q, the AP poll came out yesterday, and I was nervous, not because it means anything, but I can't trust the media at this point, and I couldn't trust that they didn't do anything ridiculous. And honestly, after I saw that Ohio State was won, I didn't really give this much of a look because I wanted to give an honest reaction on the show. Q, with your first look, maybe? I don't know. Have you seen this?
I have not seen it yet. It's my first look. What
jumps out to you on first look at this? I mean, that Memphis logo in the corner jumps out because I feel just like it's glowing blue. But I mean, what stands out when you look at this list?
First, the fact that Texas A&M held steady. I mean, I thought that performance, and I saw probably the end of the second going into the third quarter. I mean, that second half performance by Texas A&M I mean, get it, LSU. I mean, coaches got fired. They're not a great team, but we're not going to sit here in front like LSU at night is not maybe the toughest place to play in college football, and LSU is not talented. And the way they came out in the second half, I'm like, boy, these boys are about to jump to one. Like the way they looked, I'm like, I could see the media doing it and be like, this is the best team we've ever seen in college football. Again, so I mean, them still being at 3 definitely is a shot for me. I'm surprised they didn't at least move to 2, knowing the media that BYU in the top. What they got to be 11. The graphic just wrong. BYU up there holding steady, so they're moving up there, man. I saw them beat Utah, so you gotta watch out, man. BYU's out there. They might get that
Are you believing in this undefeated BYU team? Because I feel like it's like, damn, okay, like we'll put you in the top 10. Like if y'all refuse to lose, I guess we'll rank you, like keep ranking you higher. Like, are you a believer in this BYU team? Like, obviously, I don't think this is a national championship contender, but this is a team that looks like, all right, now you have to consider the fact that the Big 12, are they a potentially too bid league at this point?
Yeah, I mean, they've had a lot of ranked teams just hanging around, and ASU got where it was in there, and they got blasted. So we're not gonna talk about
Very
them.
unserious program.
Yeah, it's super unserious game on Saturday for Parents Weekend, I might add. But yeah, I will say, I mean, you got Utah. I think Utah is a solid team. It's one of those teams we talk about that would be in the Big Ten. It'd be like, it's a solid team. They're good year in, year out. I think Utah fits that mold. I mean, Texas Tech did lose at Arizona State, but at least we know they do have the talent. They may not be there yet. But I mean, you look at the conference, it's like, for a conference that no one has taken seriously for the past few years, I mean, especially after Texas and Oklahoma dip out, they have built themselves up pretty good. I mean, you got a top 11, that 10 is throwing me off. You got a top 11 team in there. Texas Tech is in the top 15 as well. And then Utah up there. I mean, you got to give Big 12 a little bit of credit. I don't know how they're going to do in the playoffs, but I can buy that none of them can get in the game and make it competitive.
I mean, you look at the Big 12, and I feel like that's become the most interesting conference in college football right now as far as this playoff picture, with BYU lurking out there undefeated. They still have to face off against Cincinnati and Texas Tech. Cincinnati with one loss to Nebraska in week 1 by 3 points. How does the committee view that team if they win out and they get big win? I mean, they have potentially 2 more ranked wins on their schedule with matchups against Utah and BYU remaining. BYU has Texas Tech and Cincinnati. Obviously, Texas Tech has BYU. Lots of opportunities for these Big 12 teams to prove themselves. And then you have, I mean, you're looking at potentially 2 ACC teams. This playoff picture, man, what seemed like was going to be a SEC Invitational starting to come into focus and starting to even out. You have 3 Big 10 teams in here, 4 ACC, 2 big, or what? You have 3 Big 10, 4 SEC, 2 ACC, a Big
ACC.
12, 3. Who's the third?
Virginia Tech, Miami.
Wait, Georgia Tech, Miami, and who else?
Virginia. 15.
How's Virginia in the playoff team? They're 15. How many teams do you think they're in the playoffs?
Oh, you're talking just playoffs. I thought you've been ranked. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say, no, I was talking about, I'm looking at the top 12 picture. I said, as the playoff picture comes into focus, what felt like we were going to have 5, 6 SEC teams in it. Now we have 3 Big 10, 4 SEC, 2 ACC, a Big 12, and then Notre Dame is an independent. And how do you think the shit, or am I missing Vanderbilt? We're 5, so maybe SEC Invitational. I'm terrible at math, Q. How do you think the balance of this playoff is going to shake out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll actually get 5 SEC teams in there. We might know the voters, but I don't think we actually will. But I think we're getting a good balance. I mean, Notre Dame, we talked about, they're going to sneak in, even despite starting the season very slow. I mean, it's good to have a Big 12 team in there. I mean, as good as the Big 12 has been this season on paper, I wouldn't mind having 2 for a balance reason. I think the Big 10, we know it's a 3-team league, and we see the 3 teams up there. I don't think they're moving.
I was just about to ask you that question. Do you feel like it is officially guaranteed that that the Big Ten is just locked in at 3. That doesn't seem like anyone's going to sneak in the back door of the playoffs from the Big Ten, and you already have Ohio State at 1, even with a loss to Indiana in a Big Ten championship or vice versa, a loss for Indiana against Ohio State, that doesn't knock them out of the playoffs. The Oregon schedule, we know it's pretty cake, and despite them not having an appearance in the Big Ten championship game, it seems like they're destined for a playoff spot if they're able to win out. I mean, you look at the remaining schedule. Iowa and USC are both teams, and then a rivalry game against Washington. Not the easiest schedule. Could potentially see the Big Ten be a 2-bid league this year?
No, I think that'll be a 3. Or you said just 3-bid or just 2?
Does it go down to 2? Does a 2-loss Oregon team with a loss to Indiana and then a loss to Iowa or USC, or does it get spooky if they turn into a 3-loss team? I mean, there's really no other good argument for the Big Ten to get a third team in.
Yeah, 3 losses, you're out. I don't think it matters who you are. I think there'll be enough good teams out there that no matter what conference you're playing in, even SEC with all the ranked teams, it's like you get 3 losses, you're probably up out of there, or everyone's going to have 3 losses that's contending for that bid. So I think that kills it. I mean, I think Oregon, even with 2 losses, there's going to be no questions about it. Their brand is good enough to get them in. But, yeah, I don't see another team quite sneaking in. I mean, Michigan would have to beat Ohio State, basically, to even have a chance to get in there. I don't think USC is going to do it. I think they've been – props to USC, though. They've been solid this season, so it's not the train wreck it once was, but not quite enough to get in there. So I think that we're going to finish with 3. Oregon have to fall apart for it to be a 2-bid team or 2-bid league.
Yeah, I think that's a great shout. Like, while USC doesn't seem like they're competing for a national title this year, I feel like this was a proof of concept year that, like, if you give Lincoln Riley the resources and time, like, them taking a step forward on defense, I think that's the most physical Lincoln Riley team I've ever seen this year. Not the greatest team, but I felt like that was a step in the right direction for that program.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, with their recruiting base, this is a big momentum to pushing them forward. We know they're going to have money. We're going to have resources. You know, the recruiting base is ridiculous in California. So it's enough for Lincoln Riley's team to improve. And, again, we'll see what they are in a couple of years. Started a little slow. I mean, I remember before they came, I'm like, oh, USC's coming. We're going to have some balance. And my fault. It was Oregon that was the one to actually come in and put some balance into the Big Ten. So, but USC is playing pretty well. I'll give them some credit. A lot more physical than they were, and we know they'll get a recruit every now and then. That's pretty good. So I got faith in them.
My favorite team to root for on this graphic outside of Ohio State, obviously, is seeing Cincinnati continue to creep up the top 25. And it's funny dynamic because, like, most Cincinnati fans hate Ohio State. They root against us. They root for every team that's playing us each week. And then Buckeye fans are like, man, Cincinnati, that's so cute what they're doing over there. Like, I hope they keep winning. And, like, I mean, I know they're fans. They don't root for us. Their Barstool account is constantly talking shit on Ohio State. And I'm just over here like, hope you guys keep winning. Best quarterback in Ohio.
You have a great day.
Exactly. So good to see them keep moving up the rankings. And, I mean, I'm rooting for them. I think if they went out, they are a playoff team. So it'll be an interesting team to keep watching. Lots of former Buckeyes on that team. So definitely hoping that they have themselves a solid season.
Yeah, hoping the Big 12 gets 2 teams. And I think that'd be a nice balance out there for them to get 2 at least. The one thing that's bothering me on this graphic is I'm looking at Virginia at 15, and I'm like, bro, what happened to my state? Like, you don't know, like, when I was coming up, Virginia Tech was the team. I had a ton of guys from my high school, not a ton, but I have a few guys from my high school go there and play college football, like, big-time program. And our boy Gabe Williams is there now. And just seeing what's happening to Tech, I'm looking at Virginia. I'm like, bro, where's the T next to the V here? Like, what happened to my hometown program? It's tough to watch, man.
Yeah, I grew up in the same time as you as far as becoming a college football fan, and Virginia and Virginia Tech were both programs to be reckoned with. And I mean, you see Virginia right there at 15. think it's a bit of a fraud program, honestly. If we want to talk about that, they barely squeaked out a win over one of the worst teams in all of college football. But, I mean, hey, shout out to them staying in the top 15 after that performance against that Bill Belichick program and everything going on there. I can't take them very seriously, but yeah, I'm right there with you. It's crazy to see the fall of them and to think about where they're at. And hey, maybe James Franklin will save them, but there's a lot better jobs opening up that I feel like James Franklin will have an opportunity at. We'll get into that later in the show. But Q, we have our complete week 9 recap to get into. I'm going to be completely honest. This might be the first weekend that you watched more college football than me because I was at a game on Saturday that we will talk about in a little bit. But Q, I wanted to start with Texas A&M and the end of the Brian Kelly era after his loss at LSU this Saturday at home in Death Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
No, did you get a chance to watch this game?
Yeah, I just said a minute ago, I watched a little the ending of the second quarter and then all of pretty much the second half. And man, it was like I guess like I was the good luck charm for Texas A&M because they were down at half. I think 18-14. I believe they were down, or like 19-14, something like that. Boy, they came out in the second half, and like that third quarter reminded me of, I think, the second quarter of Ohio State, Oklahoma. Remember when we played at Oklahoma and JT Barrett and Noah Brown just went nuclear for like a quarter? Like Texas A&M almost scored 28 points in the third quarter. Like they literally scored on, like, I think the first play in the fourth quarter. Tell you how dominant they were. Just stop, touchdown, stop, punt return for a touchdown, stop again, touch. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a good game. Like Texas A&M, we would call them a little fraudulent, seeing how they were down. They get challenged at LSU, and they were like, yeah, we just put enough stop to that. So I mean, big time credit to that program. Are they for real? For real? I mean, you can't knock it right now. Again, we got to see them play some other people. We know the SEC, they got 5 teams in the top 12. So we're gonna see them get tested. But I mean, I thought it was a big time performance by them, and I think Texas A&M is probably maybe more ahead of schedule than what they are. I mean, we talked about Tech and the money they threw, but Texas A&M, obviously Mike Elko comes in. Yeah, they're probably a little ahead of schedule, but they're playing some good ball right now. Am I worried as an Ohio State fan? Not really. I want to see the offense work against our defense, but I'm not going to sit here in front like LSU is just a cakewalk for anybody, especially playing there. They're not a great team. Coach got fired, but they're not terrible. So I thought it was a really good performance by them. And, I mean, they look good, especially that defense, man. That defensive line was getting after Nussmeier. So, yeah, I thought that was a really good performance. One of the best quarters I've seen all year in college football.
Yeah, the only thing I disagree with is when you said LSU's not terrible. I mean,
their coach got fired, but they got they're talented. And we talk about this like teams where like this team is bad, but when they're talented enough, they're just going to turn it on. I thought that was that game for LSU. I was like, oh, they're beating Texas A&M. You know, Texas A&M is at least good. Like, they're turning it on this game. The talent is showing. And they were like, yeah, enough of that. Like, they were a good first half team. They're bad second half. It got ugly. But, yeah, I thought that was a big-time win by Texas A&M.
That was a huge win for Texas A&M, a big win for Mike Elko. Anyone that's been watching this program for a while knows that, like, we think that, like, Duke is one of the best farm systems in college football for coaches. Like, Manny Diaz doing his thing there now. I thought that was a great hire. Mike Elko did his thing there, and we thought that was a great hire for Texas A&M and getting things rolling in year 2 for them and looking like one of the top teams in the country. You want to see them. I mean, they did not look great in that first half, and then for them to be able to flip the switch in the second half, I was, box score watching, and I saw the score in the first half, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have some narratives on Monday. And man, they came out there with the belt in the second half, and I was like, oh, you scratch those notes.
With 2 belts, Jesus Christ.
Two belts.
Man.
I might make that my name on Twitter. Two T's to
Ron,
two belts.
if
If we win a national championship, I think I might need to change my Twitter from two T's to two belts after the repeat. Oh, what? Why is your name Two Belts on Twitter? Because Ryan Day put two belts to the national landscape of college football with back-to-back national championships.
Well, no matter what happens for the rest of the season, the game week against Texas next year, you can put two belts all week leading up to that. See if they can catch a third.
Oh man, Q, I wanted to ask you: is this Texas A&M team the best team in the SEC?
Oh, I mean, yes, probably Friday. I would have said no, but you called it. South Carolina is a fraud alert game, and Jesus Christ, did they blow that game at Bama? And I'm looking, I got Bama fans next. I'm like, is Bama about to look like? I'm like, bro, shut up! I'm trying to watch this game. What Bama squeaked out a win. They survived and got up out of there, but boy, it probably should have lost that game, man. Probably really should have lost that game. So right now, as it sits at whatever time in the morning it is for everybody out there, I'm going with Texas A&M over Bama right now because they look fraudulent this weekend. But Friday, I would have said Alabama.
Again, Q, and I mean, I might have to shuffle the order of the notes right now because that was a game that I wanted to ask you about, and you brought up the fact that they are a South Carolina, Alabama. I don't even have it in the note, so we'll pivot to that right now. And I put South Carolina in that category of a team, Washington, a team we're going to talk later about. Like these teams, I've watched them lose enough. I don't think they're that good. I think South Carolina is a fraud team. I think if you play bad against them, that makes you a fraud alert team. And to see Alabama struggle against the South Carolina team that I think stinks and really isn't playing for much at this point, I mean, each week they're going out there and like putting their hands in a circle, like 1, 2, 3, Dylan Stewart. Like that's the only thing they're doing it for at this point. Like making sure we keep this guy at South Carolina. And I don't even know. I put them in a category with teams like Arkansas and Mississippi State. Like if you go out and struggle with these teams that are frauds, you're on fraud alert. And speaking of fraud alert, speaking of struggling against these teams, Texas goes out there and almost loses to Mississippi State. Mississippi State was up by 17 with 9 minutes left in the game and still manages to come back in this game.
Yeah, they're really playing the survive and advance game over there at Texas. Yeah, man, I know we'll get into Sark a little later after we finish our recap, but man, I just don't know what's going on. It's just, man, it's too and I knew the transition. Everybody talking transition to SEC and how it's playing week to week. Texas got too many resources for that. Like their performances, and I get it, you're winning, you're getting results, but their performances are just so fraudulent. Like there's just bad performances week after week. We're just like, what is going on with this team? And it's hard for me to look at that roster and be like, how's this Texas team like just hanging on by a thread? And again, Mississippi State, and I get no respect here. It's wrong podcast for that. So we're just definitely not saying, oh, it's a hard team. It's one of those lore games. You go to Mississippi State, you have a good meal, and it slows you down the next day. Like I don't like it's one of those lore teams, I guess, but I don't know what's going on with Texas, man. I'm trying to keep Texas afloat just because we're holding on to that win early in the season, but ain't nobody giving that win any credibility anymore.
I said I'm rooting for Texas every week just because I'm like, we beat them. Like every time they win a game, I'm like, well, Ohio State could beat them, so I'm holding on to it. Ohio State has an SEC win. Each week I watch the national landscape of college football, and I'm just like, spot the ball. My team will beat the hell out of any of your teams. Like if your team's not Michigan, like outside of Michigan, like I'm talking crazy to everyone. Kind of Alabama just because I like their recruits so much and the classes that they've assembled in the last 3 years and players they've taken from Ohio State. Miami to an extent, but fraud alert team. Like they already have a loss. Like this Texas A&M team, they're starting to move into that category with Indiana where it's like, I don't think you can beat me, but I'm not going to flat out disrespect you. Like they've now ascended into that category of like, do I think they can beat Ohio State? No. Will I slander them on the show as inferior programs? Not for now. I reserve the right to change my mind. But for now, I'm going to show some respect to these teams. But like I look around the rest of the college football, like even Texas A&M, like they looked impressive, but I'm just like, I watch people have success on offense every week. And you know what I say in the back of my head while I'm watching other teams? I bet he don't want tackled by Arvell Reese. Like it's just like I watch these other teams and I'm like, he doesn't look like he wants to cover Jeremiah Smith next Saturday. I just don't see many teams out there that want to play this Ohio State team. And the national media, they can resist it all they want. They can keep taking these letters from their executives telling them to slow down the Ohio State hype train. It is inevitable. That's what that should be the slogan. That should be the shirts that they're printing up right now. Ohio State is inevitable.
Yeah, and that was kind of the one thing about Texas A&M over the weekend. Like the LSU made Marcel Reed look like Lamar Jackson on Saturday. Like couldn't tackle him. I'm like, where's Harold Perkins at? Like can't keep up with him. He's juking guys. Like he had some Heisman level plays on Saturday. And I'm just like, I just can't see that against Arvell Reese and Sonny. Like I have to see it for me to have. When he played Damon Williams, I get it. He may not be the player Marcel Reed is. Maybe biased in SEC.
Well, he looked like Marcel Reed this past weekend.
Yeah, he did. But he's dynamic. Boy, like I don't think there's any quarterback more dynamic than Damon Williams. I'm just like, I just can't see Marcel Reed doing that to Ohio State. That was the one thing. I'm like, if we went out there and threw for 400, I'd have been like, oh, these boys might be for real. No, it's Marcel Reed going out there. Hey, is Harold Perkins over there? Yeah, tell him catch up with my shoe print because I'm going to the end zone. And it's just like, I just can't see that against Ohio State. That's the one thing. I mean, shout out to him. He is dynamic. He has some great plays, but that's the reason why I'm like, I just can't take them seriously yet. Now that they're not a good team, it may show me on the field, but just yet I'm just like, I can't see it.
A week after I pronounced Washington as a team that is completely dead to me, they go out and ranked win over Illinois, a team that I was kind of starting to believe. I don't know what to do with any of these teams at this point. I'm like, just fast forward to the Michigan game at this point, because like I don't trust anybody, and I just want to see Ohio State. If we prove that we can beat this Michigan team and then go beat Indiana in the Big Ten championship, the only thing that I'll be worried about going into the playoffs is them getting too high on themselves. And Ryan Day seems like a possessed man right now that like I said it on a couple episodes ago. It felt like early in Ryan Day's career, he was chasing a Heisman and trying to get the stats to win one of his quarterbacks a Heisman, whether it be Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, the list goes on. Well, it actually doesn't. It kind of stops there. But when you think about Ryan Day this year, it's been a very conservative approach, despite having a quarterback with the potential to win a Heisman. And it feels like Ryan Day is chasing a statue for himself at Ohio State and not a Heisman for his quarterback. And if he wins a national championship here, a second one, that's going to earn him a statue somewhere in Columbus. And I think he realizes the opportunity that's in front of him. If he's able to complete all three goals we've been talking about since we started this channel, even before that, even on Best Damn Media, talking about the three goals that Ryan Day lays out every year as far as when the Big Ten beat the team up north and win a national championship. Is there an opportunity for us to do all three this year? I mean, there's one every season, but it's feeling like a very realistic opportunity this season.
Yeah, I mean, and to do all that coming off a natty, and then you hit your other goals you haven't hit, you're definitely going to have a statue. Like, I don't, I mean, maybe.
Oh, no.
What?
I need at least a 500 record against the team up north before anyone gets a statue. I don't care if he puts. I don't care if he puts 9 national championships in that trophy case. I need at least a 500 record before any statue goes up.
I feel you on that one, but again, and maybe before I went board, but I don't know if Ohio State's ever gone back to back. I mean, maybe early days. I've never checked national championship years, but not in my time watching they've gone back to back, or it really even been close.
You almost got me to say a phrase that would have got us our monetization taken away for the day.
But yeah, I mean, I think that definitely you might get the half the statue, and then they'll build the other half when you iron things out against Michigan. But you're at least getting half of yourself on there. Somewhere in Columbus.
They give him a statue on one of the branch campuses until he gets a positive record, and then they move it to Columbus once it becomes a positive record.
The satellite campus statue's crazy.
Oh man, Q. A couple other notes before we move on from the Week 9 recap. Cincinnati rolls over Baylor. We talked about them in the AP poll. Washington beats Illinois, and then Q. I attended a game, and I think I'm officially cursed, or I am a curse.
Yeah,
I don't know how you'd like to classify it. I'm doing just fine. I'm doing my part.
Well,
I have now showed up to support 2 Ohio State transfers at their new homes against Pitt. In my hometown, I show up and I wear an Ohio State hat, thinking that I'm going to bring good luck and let people know, hey, I'm not here to watch Pitt. I'm here to watch this Ohio State transfer beat up on Pitt. And this is now my second unsuccessful hate watch of the Pitt Panthers against the former Buckeye. Last year, I was in attendance for the 5-interception game for Kyle McCord. And then, bro, I sat and watched 4 quarters of Noah Rogers doing cardio for the NC State Wolfpack against the Pitt Panthers. And I'm just like, what do I have to do to see a Buckeye go crazy in Heinz Field? Like a former Buckeye. I just can't win, Q.
I mean, the way you're making it sound, Ohio State should never schedule a game at Pitt.
I mean, you know what happened last time. It's so funny. I was tailgating. My buddy's dad was down there, and he was talking about being at that Ohio State Pitt game. And I believe Q, you know the score. Who's the commentator that you said still hates us because of that game?
72-0. Mark May. I got it.
Yeah. 72-0, 1996 at Pitt Stadium. Ohio. Eddie George beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah, funny enough. You're wondering whatever happened to Mark May. You're like, this guy used to be on ESPN. What was it? College Scoreboard the other night, whatever that show was called. Him and Lou Holtz. Whatever happened to him? I'm watching the news one day after the game, and I'm like, Mark May? It's like Arizona local news sports. I'm like, Jesus. We can hire him. Like, Jesus, man.
Well, I don't think he's going to rock with us after that. He's been beefing with us for 19 years now. I mean, maybe we could bring an end to it and extend a peace offering out to him. But yeah, I sat and froze my ass off, and I think, Q, I have a rule. After the age of 26, I changed my stance on how often I wanted to be at Heinz Field. Like when I was younger and I was normally shit-faced drunk at these games, I liked being down there a lot more. Now that I have no desire to be freezing my ass off or be shit-faced drunk at Heinz Field, a lot less desire to be down there. And I had a rule even back then. I don't go to Heinz Field after October, not for Pitt games, not for Steeler games. I am too old to be sitting next to that cold-ass river watching football when I could be watching it from my house. And, man, I might have to move that up to September because it was too cold, bro. I was down there in my seats, like just like I should have wore a jacket, and it's like I shouldn't have to wear a jacket to a game. And in the third week of October, it was so cold down there. I might have to bump up my cutoff date for games attended in Heinz Field to September because sitting next to that river, too much for your boy. Especially for a team that I don't care for. Like sitting outside in the cold just to watch a team that you're not even a fan of, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do that, it better be a fourth quarter Hail Mary game walk off to like y'all better show up because if I showed up, the performance better be fantastic so I can talk about this game for the next year because I'm not freezing for no reason.
Yeah, and then like if I go to a Steeler game, like when I'm actually in the stadium, like the actual Steelers, see, people call me a fair weather fan, and I'm like, no. I am an insane person. And if I watch this miserable ass Steeler team or invest myself in it, like it is not good for my health. Like the way that I follow Ohio State cannot be combined with like my obsessive following of the Steelers that I've had my entire life because my cardiologist will not allow it. It just cannot happen. Like I explain to people, I'm like, yeah, I love Ohio State and but like the Steelers, when I am invested in the Steelers and I let them consume my Sundays, I'll catch myself at work on a Thursday. Like, I can't believe those motherfuckers lost on Sunday. Like, it just sits with me so much longer and just doesn't go away that like, when they're being unserious about truly winning, I can't. It's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. Like last night. They're gonna kill me, Q.
I feel your pain, brother. I'm a Ravens fan and a Maryland Terps fan. I've been there.
Like I was in Heinz Field. I watched Pitt. I watched Pitt win a game, and it's just like while I was sitting down there, I was reminded. I was like, this is exactly why I don't come down here and watch us other bums that play on Sunday because it's too cold to be emotionally invested in these losers.
I feel your pain. I got to watch Mark Andrews point shave and then deal with an entire offseason nonsense. They're trying to get your hopes back up.
Yeah, but like at least right now, your stinky hometown team plays in like 70-degree weather.
I mean, the Ravens don't, but I can see Arizona State playing 7-degree weather. I mean, it's not
no, that's what I'm saying. You move to a city where, like, if you got to watch a trash hometown team, at least you do it in beautiful weather in a cool stadium.
That's true. I'll have fun. Now, the team of fans will have fun, but I will.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about our awful hometown teams. That's why we both root for the Ohio State Buckeyes, because they bring us joy, while these other teams, they just bring us nothing but misery. Q, one thing I can say is, while I have fired Ryan Day my fair share of times on the timeline, that's why I'm not the athletic director. But these other athletic directors, they're pulling the trigger. Brian Kelly fired from LSU yesterday after Texas A&M. Pete Thamel tweeted out that in a few hours, LSU would be having a meeting to inform the team that Brian Kelly would be fired. And I responded, and I've never seen so many likes pile up so fast on a tweet. I said, Pete, I think you just told them. They can cancel that meeting. I'm pretty sure they have Twitter and just found out. Like imagine everybody in the world is just talking on Twitter. Your whole family knows, and you're like, oh, I wonder what this meeting's about tonight.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. Man. That's a poor way to find out, but I don't think people got to be first. They're thinking about, let me get the news out regardless of who sees it.
Absolutely. Q, this hire never made sense in the first place. Like he had the awful dance moves. He had the fake accent. He had the, I mean, I don't even mean this. Like, I feel like people throw this around so flippantly and like do it to be funny. Like, I just mean this in like the most respectful way and don't want to like make light of what happened. But like, he does bear responsibility in that guy's death at Notre Dame. Like, there's just so much allegedly protection there. I don't know how, with everything surrounding him being such a stick in the mud, like LSU is one of those universities that demands a personality at the coach. And Brian Kelly is not a personality. You know what personality he is? An asshole. Like, that's the personality that he has, a northern asshole. Why would you bring that in to one of the most culturally relevant and cool brands in all of sports? You bring in this guy, Notre Dame, the most stuck up, boring, swagless school that there possibly is. Like, let's go get the 60-year-old guy and bring him down south, and he's going to light it up for us at LSU. Like, I think they took that saying that anybody can win a national title at LSU and was like, oh, just grab anybody. And they went in, Notre Dame should be sending a thank you to LSU for taking that dud from them.
Yeah, I mean, I understood the hire to a point. I mean, you think about Brian Kelly, he won at Cincinnati, he won at Notre Dame. You're like, well, if you actually give him some of the best talent in the country, I mean, he's a good ball coach. I mean, I think we can say that. Like, he can go down there and win, but the fit, I mean, ever since the family, like, it's just like
family.
I mean, they had a good first year, but I mean, he's really never put together a good defense down there. I think Harold Perkins has been on your watch list of like, is this linebacker class really going to fall apart for a while now? And I don't think that's going to change anytime.
There's going to be a 30 for 30 on that 2022 class.
The way Marcel Reed played, that's cooked. So it's like, man, I got it to an extent, but it doesn't. I'm with you. It's not a culture fit. Brian Kelly just doesn't seem like an SEC guy, or he seems like an SEC guy at a bad school.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Brian Kelly. No, I think Brian Kelly's a Big Ten coach at a bad school.
That could work too.
Like, I think he's like a Rutgers guy.
Rutgers, how the mighty have fallen, Jesus. Notre Dame to Rutgers.
I mean, is that terrible?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Maybe Brian Kelly replaces Fran Brown. Maybe now that I haven't heard that as a potential name, but bro, Fran Brown at LSU would be so lit. He would, bro.
It'd be a great fit.
I might have to just end the show right now and see if I can get in contact with the LSU athletic director and be like, I don't work for this man, but I work in college football, and this would be so great for me. I think Fran Brown would be an awesome hire.
If you want to give me 1%
like, how the hell did you get this number?
I love just that. I work in college football. No kind of context to that statement at all. Just I work in college football. Don't ask in what capacity. I just do.
Right. Just call anonymously. It's like, hi, Kevin McAllister, a father.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, Q, I this LSU job, it is now being talked about outside of Ohio State as a top 3 job in college football. Would you agree?
I mean, I think it's definitely got to be top 5. I mean, I don't know if it's top 3 across the country. I'd probably put a couple aboard, but they have a ton of talent. They have a ton of resources. Obviously, you talked about the branding. Like, it's up there. It's definitely top 5.
Who would be your top choice if you were hiring at LSU? I said Fran Brown. I'm not sure who you would go with.
Urban?
That's a choice. Chris has a name that he calls Baby Urban, and Dan Lanning. A lot of people have rejected this idea. Josh Pate has floated the idea that there's a lot more coaches that you would think that value this job highly and would consider it than you would believe. And our guy, Ohio DG, quote tweeted and said he's talking about Dan Lanning. If you watch the Cover 3 podcast and most of the national broadcasts of instant reactions of the Brian Kelly firing, most of them rolled out the idea of Dan Lanning taking that job immediately. It's been hinted at for the past week or two that Dan Lanning would potentially take that job. A lot of Oregon fans immediately bucked back at that, like, you don't understand his contract. He'd leave so much Nike stock on the table. And it's like, I guess. I mean, there's a massive buyout associated with that. He would probably leave a ton of Nike stock on the table. But Q, if you truly believe it's the best job in the country, would you be willing to sacrifice money, or you're like, screw it? I got all these Jordans. I'm right here. I got Phil Knight on speed dial. I make good money. I got all this Nike stock. I'm cooling. Who cares if I ever win? Or is there someone on his other shoulder whispering in his ear like 0 national championships, 2,000 uniforms? Like how bad does he want to win?
I mean, there's definitely it's college football, big time program, head coaching money. Somehow I think Dan Lanning would be okay if he took the LSU job. I don't care how much money he's leaving on the table. I think he'll get it back. As far as that hire, I don't know. I don't know if Dan Lanning is a fit. Now, I like Dan Lanning, but the last year has not been the best PR move for him. I don't know. I don't know if I can see. I mean, could I see it? Yeah.
Cocaine energy on the sidelines at LSU. How is that not a fit?
Dan Lanning just doesn't give me, and I know he was at Georgia, but he doesn't give me LSU vibes when I look at him. Like, I feel like when I see Dan Lanning at Oregon, I'm like, okay, this fits. Like, I get it as the energy. Oregon's the brand with a million jerseys, all the swag, the Nike fucking lights show action. Like, I feel like it fit. LSU, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I feel like Dan Lanning has some, like, fake grit. And I feel like if you go to LSU, like, you got to have, like, some real grit to you. You know what I mean? He's like a punk or anything like that. But you know, like, that coaching grit where you'd be like, that's a dude, like, I don't know if I want to mess with. Like, I don't think anybody's afraid of bumping into Dan Lanning. It's just, I feel like LSU was a job. That's why Brian Kelly, he doesn't really have grit. And it feels like that's why he really wasn't a fit. He's just an asshole from the North. Like, it was not a fit at all. I'm fairly like Dan Lanning. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Could he succeed? I think he could. But I just don't know if it's the most natural fit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I disagree. I think he would be. I think he brings the type of energy that could really turn up a program like LSU. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on. Not sure that he necessarily would take the job, but I'm up there with. I think that's one of the better jobs in college football, regionally where it's located, the amount of talent it concentrated in the state, just the overall atmosphere, the home field advantage, the resources. We've seen so many coaches be successful there. Brian Kelly's a bozo, so I don't really think you can count that into why you can't blame that on the school. You blame that on the coach. You blame the school for the hiring, but not necessarily the result. Couple names that I wanted to ask: do they spin the block? Do they go try to hire Notre Dame's coach again? And it just makes you think. Like, even the fact that we're asking that question, it's like, you guys could have just hired Marcus Freeman the first time.
I mean, you could have. He was a bit unproven at the time, but you could have if you knew. You probably would have took that and ran with it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Marcus Freeman. I don't know if he's really at LSU. I don't know if he's at LSU fit either. Marcus Freeman seems like a northern ball coach.
James Franklin?
No. No.
You don't think the Clapper would fit down there?
Yeah, you've replaced Brian Kelly with James Franklin. Yeah, but you're hustling backwards.
No. Come on now. I'm not. Look, come on. Be
James Franklin looks like
serious.
he belongs in Pennsylvania.
Hey, but here's the thing. If you had to put Brian Kelly or James Franklin at an LSU tailgate, who's fitting in more?
I mean, Brian Kelly
If
doesn't have a
some
Creole
Boosie
accent.
comes on, James Franklin is going to know more lyrics than Brian Kelly. Be serious.
You include the Creole accent.
Don't. James Franklin looks Creole. What are we talking about?
Oh man, I guess.
Does he not?
Does he not what?
I mean, you could pass him off as Creole.
I guess. James Franklin seems like he should be coaching at a high prestige university. That's all I'm saying.
Q, lots of rumors going around on the coaching carousel. I wanted to start with, you put this note in here. Chris did a video already. If you guys haven't checked it out, be sure to check it out. And if you like what you're watching, be sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I believe it says 55% of the people that watch this show are not subscribed to the channel. It would help us out a ton if you subscribed. It costs you nothing. It helps us a ton. Chris talked on a show that he did. Chris Drew talked about Sarkisian rumors to the NFL. Q, what do you have on that?
Yeah, really. I mean, Chris talked about the rumors. There was rumors. Sark's team or media or agent did squash them. But I mean, I just really had a question for you, Ron. I mean, you think about Texas. We just talked about top jobs. I mean, Texas is definitely top 3 in my opinion. Resources, oil money, boosters, recruiting ground. And we talked about it earlier. You got to come back from Mississippi State. Like, this is not in Texas, you know. Like, this is not what we're going for here. So, I mean, my question, we heard these rumors, Ron, just by Sark's era. Like, do you think, and I'm not talking about have winning seasons, like, there are national championship standards at Texas. Do you think under those standards, which are very high, when we talk to Texas fans a ton, know how crazy they are, do you think Sark can actually succeed at Texas to the point where people will be happy? Like, winning natties, beating Oklahoma year in, year out. They obviously just did that. But I'm just saying, like, do you think he can achieve that in the SEC at Texas? Because I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't know if Sark's the guy here. Like, this is not going according to plan.
I mean, you might as well let him die on the Arch Manning sword, no?
Yeah, that's just a terrible decision. I mean, the way it looks now, and we did the second coming of Arch, but I mean, even had Quinn Ewers, and I get it. Last year, they were really close to winning a natty, but they also didn't win the SEC championship.
What happened there?
Yeah, they ran into the one team that probably could stop them, but also too, like, they didn't even win the SEC championship last year. Like, they had their struggles. They just turned it on at a good time, but it's just like, you're looking at Texas like, bro, like, people should have fear in their hearts when they play Texas with the amount of, in the NIL era, they really should. My boy's a Kentucky fan talking about we should have won that game. Like, that should never, ever, ever, ever happen. It shouldn't even be close. Why are you play overtime at Kentucky? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. At what point does Texas pull the cord on this Sarkisian experiment? And man, it just feels like just last year people were telling us Sarkisian was a better coach than Ryan Day, and a year later we're like, does he survive his contract there? I mean, I think with the uncertainty, and we're going to talk about it here in a minute, with the uncertainty around college football, I don't know if I would be rushing to fire my coach, because and who is this really worked out for? Who's the last national champion that had a coach that just came in and flipped the script? I mean, Ryan Day, it took him how long to build it up? Jim Harbaugh, it took him how long to get it right? It took Kirby Smart how long to get it right? Before that, it was Nick Saban. Before that, it was LSU, a program that we talked about, wins periodically when they have mass collections of talent randomly crop up for one big run season. And then before that, again, you're talking about your Dabbas, your Sabans, your Kirbys, like your Urbans. Who are these coaches that are just overnight flipping the switch on a program like, oh, I'm here, Natty now, ring me.
Mike Elko, I guess. Like I don't know if the coaches are really out.
But who's the
there.
proof of concept? Where's the last time it's happened?
I mean, that wasn't a serious answer. But it's like, yeah, I mean, your coach has to be established, be there for a while, and you have to have a good recruiting base and ground. And again, I don't know if the coaches are out there. Like, I threw Urban out there a minute ago because I'm like, Urban could go to a place and flip it. I mean, he's out there. I mean, and as you, Ron, I was like, you talk about the jobs in college football right now. Florida, maybe Texas, LSU, like
look at the coaches that have won national championships in the college football era. You have Urban Meyer at Ohio State, Saban, Dabo, Saban, Dabo, Edo, Saban, Kirby, Harbaugh, Ryan Day.
Which one of these does not fit? But anyway,
the one that cheated, probably.
But I would say, but I was gonna ask, like, yeah, is there a better time for Urban to get back into coaching? All the jobs out there right now, if he was ever gonna do it, is this the time?
I mean, this would be the time, and we might as well jump right to it. I mean, we're hearing rumors that Urban to Penn State is a possibility. The guy who broke that James Franklin was being fired and that Jim Knowles was going to Penn State is hinting on the Penn State message boards that Penn State has their coach. Who that is, I don't know. Is it Drinkowitz at Missouri? Is that's a name that Penn State fans felt like after the first Urban interview didn't go great at Penn State, they were moving full steam ahead on him. But Urban was recently spotted meeting with state senators in Pennsylvania. So is Urban to Penn State a possibility? We talked about the idea of Dan Lanning to LSU, Lane Kiffin to Florida. I mean, he seems to be trying to throw water on the fire around that situation. Q, there is so much movement potentially going on in college football. Your thoughts on Urban Meyer to Penn State?
I mean, honestly, I couldn't see it probably before, but just with the jobs out there right now, I definitely can't see it. Like, you look at Penn State and you're like, okay, I got to recruit out of Pennsylvania. Probably can get some good players. Now I got to run to Ryan Day. I know what.
The fact that you even started that argument by discrediting the quality of football players in the state of Pennsylvania is so crazy to me. I'm trying not to swear as much on the show, and you almost made me say the F word there because I'm so infuriated that, like, cool, there were so many ways to start off making that argument, and starting off by slandering the state of Pennsylvania and the amount of talent that comes out of the state is just so blasphemous. It's kind of crazy.
Elite ball knowledge. No, but I'm just saying, man, you think about out there like LSU, better than Penn State job? Yeah. Florida, better than Penn State job? Yeah. I'd say that with the talent they have down there. Florida State, maybe. Texas, yeah. Like, the amount of jobs that open up out there that are
Texas ain't open. Did you just fire Sark?
But I'm talking about, like, we talk about Sark, and if he leaves, like, if that does happen, I know he squashed the rumors, but coaches do that every week. Oh, yeah, I'm not going. Oh, Brian Kelly, I'm not leaving Notre Dame.
Lincoln Riley, I'm definitely not taking the USC job next day. Leaves for USC.
I'm not taking the LSU job because I'm going to USC.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah. Not saying Sark will leave, but I mean, that's a great job if it's open. So I just think with the amount of jobs out there, it's like you're going to go to Penn State and have to deal with the monster that Ryan Day just built. I'm not doing it. I'll see you in a natty. Like, I don't want to deal with that week in, week out, because if Ohio State is nothing, it's consistent. And what is the rest of college football right now? Not consistent. Alabama, week in, week out, is not the Bama of old. Georgia, week in, week out, is not the Georgia of old. Texas A&M's in the top 3. We just looked at the top 25. You said Memphis? Is this college basketball? Like, the parity around college football, if you were able to ground yourself, really build a monster, like, The ceiling is the roof.
The ceiling is the roof. Q, you said the key word of this episode, and it brings us to our last topic of the day, and that's consistency. And you know what's been one of the most consistent things in college sports, and not just college sports, specifically college football? Ohio State. Ohio State has been a pillar of consistency throughout every decade. We have had Hall of Fame coach after Hall of Fame coach after Hall of Fame coach. We've had 3 coaches now win national championships. We are consistently in the top 10 in recruiting rankings. We have one of the highest investments as far as resources, one of the largest fan base, the greatest fan base in college football. And you look at the consistency right now with Ryan Day. We've done every variation of, is Ryan Day the next Saban? Is Ryan Day starting a next Dynasty? And you look at the potential recruiting surge that the Buckeyes could see and how they have cleaned up when coaches have left the sport, left their job, and there's been this transaction era of the NIL, the transfer portal. You saw Ryan Day capitalize off of Nick Saban's departure and picking up Caleb Downs from Alabama, Julian Sain from Alabama. You see all of these jobs that are potentially coming open, a job that we didn't even talk about, Hugh Freeze at Auburn. And you look at this list just a few months ago, this looked like 3 guys that could land at Ohio State, and Braylon Womack, now an Auburn commit, Hugh Freeze potentially on the hot seat, Deuce Gerald's committed to LSU, and then Micah Smith at UCLA. 3 guys that could potentially end up at Ohio State. And I asked the question, if Ohio State, through the consistency of just winning a national championship, having one of the most respected coaches and coaching staffs in the country, are they going to be able to put together dynastic talent acquisition in the next year and a half and take advantage of the amount of movement that's going to be happening in the transaction era of college football, with all of these coaches leaving jobs, all of the transfer portal one-time windows that are going to open when all of these coaches are hired? Could Ohio State uniquely position themselves to acquire talent in a way that no other school has been able to, with all of this turmoil and turnover, even with schools that plan to have success? Ole Miss, they're doing well right now. If Lane Kiffin moves, now there's the fall off from their roster. How much more on top of the schools that we have already watched fire their coach? What is the domino effect? There's only so many coaches, and how many of these coaches are going to be hired from programs that are already performing at high levels right now that create even more roster movement and transactions throughout college sports? If Ohio State gobbles up all this talent, what does this team look like in the next 2 to 3 years?
I mean, dynastic. Like you said, I think that's been the final piece, and we've been talking about it really since the season started. Like, what's the one thing right now? You saw Ryan Day didn't come back unserious. He took that natty roll and kept that steam rolling. It's like talent acquisition is the final piece. And we talked about recruiting, I think, at least 2-3 times this season, saying, okay, we're not going to talk about recruiting because the news isn't great. Ohio State doesn't want to spend the money. I mean, Jux talked about it ad nauseum, talking about, maybe next year might be the year that we start to spend. I don't think there's a better time right now, like with all these coaching positions up, these big-time programs and uncertainty, like this offseason, you could build your roster for the next 4 years and have a chance at a natty each year because you'll have enough talent. Like Braylon Womack, talked about him, heavy Ohio State lean, ends up going to Auburn. He's back on the board now. I mean, Deuce Gerald, Micah Smith, you've heard those names, but we talked about Dylan Stewart. I mean, we talked about the guys at Penn State. What are they going to do? James Franklin is out now. He's a ton of talent over there and recruits. And I think 2027 number running back in the nation is going to now visit Ohio State or has interest in Ohio State. Like, across the country, there is just a ton of players out there waiting, trying to figure out uncertainty. I don't think there's a better time than this rest of the season recruiting through this offseason to really spend money and build your roster. And you don't have to do it every year. I mean, the amount of talent's out there right now. Let me grab a couple guys, grab a couple freshmen, grab a couple sophomore, a couple recruits. We're good the next 3 years. And it's like, okay, then we'll just save our money and do it again in the next cycle. So I think there's no better time right now to do it. And I really hope Ohio State's like, let's pull out the checkbook. And if Ryan Day goes to the board and be like, hey, you give me money now, I don't need as much next few years. I mean, I feel like we've built those classes pretty well. We kind of know who's coming down the line as far as recruiting and got some of the main positions already out the way almost. I think we'll be good to go.
Q, and you, it's like you can read my mind with the way that you mentioned the things that you know exactly where I'm going next with this. I have a tweet that I put in my drafts yesterday that I was scared to send out, and I'm just going to say it here on the show. You brought up the money. I don't care if Ross Bjork has to start selling bricks. They better not tell me that we don't have the money when you have an opportunity to buy me a dynasty. Open up the checkbooks, call the fucking donors, make it happen. I don't care about the cap. I don't care about the rules. I don't care about the NCAA. I don't care. We got to steal the money. Do it. Like, there better not be restrictions. I want people's grannies driving Lambos. I don't care how we have to get this money to people. Figure it out. This is a no excuse opportunity to put Ohio State in the history books that you will not be able to tell the story of the sport of college football without mentioning a potential dynastic run by Ohio State with the opportunity that is in front of them. And if they let something like money get in the way of it, it's inexcusable.
Yeah, and it's not even like this is not Miami a few years ago where you're paying bad team tax. Like, the Ohio State product is as proven as anything in life, like outside of sports. So, like, it's as proven as anything is. You come here, call us 3-star U, we develop our talent, we send them to the pros. Like, and you're going to win the entire time you're there. It's not that hard. If you match or even come close in recruiting as far as an NIL offer, people be like, yeah, like, why am I going to Auburn when I could go to Ohio State? I'm going to win, probably going to play a couple years and off to the NFL. Like, you can sell that so easily at this point. And with all the jobs out there, all the uncertainty, it's like, and again, you don't have to, this is not Texas Tech. You don't have to do this every year. You're not trying to build anything. It's already built. You just need to pick what did Indiana do? They looked at it and said, we need these pieces. We don't have a ton of money, but we need these pieces. Build it up, top 5 team right now. Imagine if Ohio State's like, we just need a pass rusher. Oh, Dylan Stewart's over there. We just need a quarterback. This guy's over there. We just need a tackle. This guy's over there. Like, you don't have to go crazy, and you're going to be playing for a natty year in, year out.
Absolutely. And don't listen to Q. Go crazy. I don't care. Light the money on fire. Throw it at the club. Whatever phrase, whatever analogy, whatever metaphor, whatever you want to use to describe this situation. Like Nike says, just do it. And that's all I have for you at this point, Q. Like, I want my dynasty. I'm getting greedy. The one natty, not good enough. Run it up. Let's get a positive record against Michigan for Ryan Day. Get the statues built and let's do the damn thing, man. The Buckeyes have a huge opportunity in front of them. The rest of college football looks like the Wild West, and it's our chance and opportunity to capitalize. Q, that's all I have for today. If you are still watching at this point in the video, we're 72 minutes in. And if you made it this long, or even if you just got here, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure that you subscribe here on Dead Air Sports. Tons of content on this channel. Chris Drew held it down. Q was outside in the streets. I called Q every time I call Q, and we're not doing the show. This man is not home. I said, bro, if I didn't do a show with you 5 days a week, I would assume you were homeless because you were never home when I call you. But Chris held it down on the channel. Q was at brunch. I was at football games this weekend. Chris held it down on the channel. Tons of content. If you haven't checked that out, I mean, he has all kinds of things. College football fan reactions. He has a complete college football weekend recap, Sark and firing reactions, all kinds of things. Make sure that you're tuned in here on Dead Air Sports and subscribed on the channel. Q, if they want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
Real quick.
If they're not looking for you in these streets.
I couldn't tell you where this quote is from. I'll tell you after the show. But the thing that rang in my head is, "Sir, I'm just trying to get something to eat." Like, as I was at brunch. If you know that some true ball knower, I'll tell Rob. Not trying to get the show canceled, but oh man, I am City Boy Quentin on Twitter, Flying Johnson on Instagram. But you know where to find me Monday through Friday most weeks when we're not running around in the streets or whatever. We've been pretty consistent here, so do love that. So make sure to like that video. Shout out to all the members, greatly appreciate you. If you've been at this long, make sure you sub. Very fun episode. I had a great time. I didn't expect to have that much fun. It's like, we got to stop having a great time in the wee hours of the morning. But it's fun to hang out with y'all.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I'll go for it.
Oh, yeah, no, I just looked down and I didn't even realize how late it is. I'm not even going to say
too much of a
no,
good
I'm
time.
not even. I'm not even going to say what time we're recording this show. You would be amazed. But we are here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. for the Buckeye Roast. We appreciate everybody tuning in. If you want to find me, again, you can catch us right here on Dead Air Sports Monday through Friday. You can catch us in the Bleacher Report app. We do micro content throughout the week. We also do instant reactions post games in the Ohio State team stream. So make sure you download the Bleacher Report app and catch me and Chris Drew for instant reactions after every Ohio State game. We're actually talking about the idea of doing a live watch along, something in consideration. So keep an eye out for potentially that. And then you can catch me on Twitter. That's at 2Ts. It's 2_TESQ. That's all I have. You know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
Ayo.
When I hit the scene, everybody know me. 40 tuck in my skinny jeans. I'm so fucking low key. All hundreds, finna go get some cream. Just another show week. It's a show week out the 7 days. I gotta pick up 40. Mama told me, baby, get you some sleep. Gotta turn down, move slow, please. I go home, rock my son to sleep. Gotta stay awake, get more of these. Nigga, you mad cause you ain't getting no cheese. Whole hood charge you whole fee. Sometimes there's no one to watch over me. Too broke, can't get close to me. Send an op, say hello to me. Never respect when approaching me. And don't act like you don't know it's me. Know that bitch somewhere close to me. And I ain't got no reason to be on that. You the one avenge your homie. Even though I really be on that. Beat a nigga up if you want that. You can't even buy a whole lunch, Jack. Better get a clock and punch that. Used to run my hood like a rug rat. We went to war with one guy. Ain't lying, we'll go, they come back. All on defense, bust back. So they want me whack. 100 shots out the back of the lag. I spit that shit that you get high to and make you want clap after that. Then drop some shit that make you contemplate on it after the fact. Rap about the shit you living, nigga, what happened to that? I don't give a fuck about the rap game no more, nigga, I'm after the check. I ain't with the rap beef, nigga say my name once, I'm after his neck. Reach for 150, I'm